Hey guys, welcome to the Sunnydale Diaries, a podcast where I, Melanie,
And I, Sean.
watch and review every single different episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. As a reminder, you should know by now, Sean has watched this show since its inception and is a huge fan, and I am new to it. So, two very different perspectives. If you are new to the podcast, bienvenue, welcome to you. If you have listened for a while, thanks for coming back. And tonight we are going to go over season 3, episode 20, the prom. Hitting the prom. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Things are moving along.
Well, it's the end of the school year.
Yeah, I guess. We're going through all those important senior rites of passage.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about prom. Did you go to your prom?
I went to my senior prom.
Mhm.
We also had a junior prom, but I did not go to that one.
Oh, we just had the one, but okay, interesting. Do you remember the theme of your prom?
It was something about midnight.
So was mine. I think it's like
Unless,
they have dice.
unless I'm thinking of yours.
They
But
roll
no, I'm
some
pretty sure.
dice. Midnight dreams, midnight fantasy, midnight
Midnight enchantment.
enchantment under the sea. Did
Do you
you
remember your
did
prom
you have a
song?
date?
I had a date, Laura. She was a transfer. Like she transferred her senior year,
Mhm.
but we were friends and we went together. And she looked very pretty.
Did you ask her or
Uh,
did she ask you?
I asked her.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nerve wracking.
yeah. I think she was the only person like I even thought of asking. And
You applied to one school, got in. You asked one girl, she went. Decisive.
backups? I don't have backups.
The song. Do you remember the song? Your prom song?
Yeah, it was "We Belong" by Pat Benatar.
Oh, was that a big deal for your school picking? Did you get to pick the theme like in Never Been Kissed? Did you get to pick your prom theme, or was it announced to you?
I think the theme was announced. The song, I think, like the people could nominate, and then we voted like from the top four.
Hmm.
Don't ask me what the other ones were. Like I remember the class before me. It was Trixie Sticks' class. They were "Never Say Goodbye" Bon Jovi.
Oh yeah,
Also a good prom song.
yeah.
Yeah, we had "We Belong." I feel a connection to that song to this day. It's a good song.
Our prom was it Moonlight or Midnight? I have the little book. I was telling Sean before we started recording. I've got the little book. Oh, Moonlight Fantasy.
Under the Sea Enchantment.
Yeah, so we got this little book, and it lists out like who the senior class officers are, the
Mm.
program for the thing, and even told the menu for what we ate. The Our song was "For Just a Moment," which was the song from the St. Elmo's Fire soundtrack. Now, a
Uh,
lot of us voted for a song called Forever Young by not by Rod Stewart, the one by an alternative band called Alphaville. I think Alphaville. But we were very upset because when we got to the auditorium the day to listen to the songs and vote on them, they played frickin' Rod Stewart Forever Young. And we were like, what the hell?
oh
This is like the
no.
lamest song.
Yeah.
But anyway, it ended
Ugh.
up being this St. Elmo's Fire song. And another little scandal was when the DJ showed up, he didn't have that song. He brought the uh, Man in Motion St. Elmo's theme song.
Mm.
But at that point, we were having a great time. We didn't care. So we all, just danced to that. It was good. Did you enjoy your
And
prom?
also, I had fun. My prom that year was the year of the Macarena,
Oh, no.
and oh yes, they played it 3 separate times.
Oh, no.
Oh yes,
At my
yes
prom,
they
they
did.
played "Moni Moni" by Billy Idol a bunch of times until the teachers found out what everybody was saying in the little chant parts.
Oh yep,
And
yep.
I did the kibosh on that song. Um,
Ours was really far away. Like, it wasn't in the school. It was at
no.
like a probably like a hotel or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
something. But
Same.
like,
Yeah.
it was in the next county over. Like I feel like it was like a 40-minute drive. That was
Oh,
probably the cheapest.
Yeah, same. I think mine was so we were in Coral Springs and it was in Boca, so that was like 30 minutes
Yes.
away, 30,
Yeah.
Um for me, I had a boyfriend at the time, my senior boyfriend, who was a little bit older than me. He'd already graduated. But there was a boy in my class that I had a crush on. And somehow, like a friend of a friend asked him if he would have a dance with me at the prom, and he said yes. Oh my god, I was like over the moon, and my boyfriend knew it. I didn't make any, secret of it. I was very excited to dance with this guy. It did not end up happening, which was very sad.
Hmm.
Um, so that was my senior prom. I also went to my boyfriend's best friend's senior prom with him as arm candy. That was fun
Nice.
too. I didn't know anybody there, but I had a good time.
Cool.
I enjoyed prom, it's a dance. It's fun. You get dressed
Yeah.
up,
Yep.
feel grown up, a little bit grown up for a night.
I think probably the only time in my life I've worn a tuxedo.
Really?
Yeah, because like weddings I was in, it was like a suit. I don't think
Yeah.
it was ever like a tux. My own wedding, I
Your own
didn't do a
wedding, you
tux.
didn't wear tux.
Yeah, yeah, maybe the only time.
Wow. Did you rent it?
Yes,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Did
yeah.
you get your date a corsage?
I did.
Like a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
boy? Was it the kind that
Of
she
course,
wears here or the kind that she wears on her wrist?
it was on her wrist.
Okay.
Yeah,
So not very
I think
often.
it was roses. I remember it being red.
Yeah. Nice. Classy. Did you get a
Hmm.
limo?
We got like a town car. It was us and another couple. I didn't like the other couple, I
Oh.
gotta say.
Oh, okay.
But it was, I think it was like more like a town car, not a limo. But I don't care.
I
Whatever.
think one of my uncles knew somebody that owned a limo company or something. I don't know. So we had a limo. And then
Nice.
after the prom, we had the limo go to, so this is back in my BBS days. And every Friday night, everybody got together at the bowling alley. It was called a GT, a get together. And they'd go to the bowling alley and just hang out and bowl and drink. And so we had the guy drive us to the bowling alley so that we could drive
Ah,
up and everybody came out. It was like a movie thing. Everybody came out to see us in the limo and all dressed up and stuff. And then we left and went to
nice.
a party.
Mm.
Did
We went
you
to we went to the diner because that's what you do on Long Island.
you go to the diner
Go to the
and
diner.
everybody's there?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Get some disco fries.
Yeah. Pizza burger,
Good stuff.
deluxe.
Yeah, pizza burger deluxe.
Yeah,
You know it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
We went to a party at my friend's house, and then I went back to my boyfriend's house, which I don't know if my mother knows that to this day.
I'll have to bring that up when I'm up there in a week and a
I know,
half.
I know. And then the next morning, we all went back to my house, and my mom cooked us all breakfast, and we went to the beach because that's what you do
Mm.
in Florida. A
Yeah. Yep.
little different. Good times. The
Yeah.
prom.
Yeah. No attacking hellhounds at yours.
No,
That's
no,
good.
no. It was pretty boring.
Yeah, I don't think there were any issues. I don't know anything was spiked or anything like
No
that.
plate glass window
No,
drama. No. Mm.
because it should be.
This
So
is
before
okay. I
we,
don't know if you're watching on YouTube. This is my non-alcoholic holiday brew that I asked the grocery store to stock for me because it's so hard to find. It's made by Claus Taylor, which is a German company, and it's called Santa Claus Taylor. And it's what do they describe it as? It's like a cinnamon cranberry carbonated drink. It's very delicious.
I've had it before. I like it.
Yeah, I'll save you one.
All right.
I'm so excited they
Before we
bought it
get,
for me. That they
yeah,
paid
that is
for it.
cool to
I
do
love
that.
it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we get into the episode,
Oh,
I just want to thank everyone who's listening because we recently surpassed 10,000 downloads of the
what?
podcast.
Wow.
Now, granted, I know that like not every single download meant they listened to completely to the end of the episode, but you started, you tried,
You
and for
tried.
that,
You
To
tried
that,
listening to us. Sometimes it's hard to get through a whole episode. Again, I go back to the season 1 episode where we talked about eggs for 20 minutes. I mean, they can't all be great.
so to our listeners and viewers, thank you
Thank you,
for
guys.
getting 10,000 starts of us talking about Buffy.
10,000 starts of us going, "Hey guys, and I'm Melanie."
I want to give a shout out to a listener from Spotify who recently commented, Gail Mack.
Hey Gail.
She said that she loves us.
Oh,
Um, and even though you are a Buffy version, you get the nuance and comedy and the point of it. And she adores us both.
that's big words, Gail. I don't know about the nuance in this show.
So thank you,
Thank
Gail.
you for the kind words.
All right, ready to talk about the prom?
Let's get in it. Let's get into it.
Bedhead.
Okay. What so I was like, again, he's so stalkery. Like he's laying there watching her sleep. That's so creepy, dude.
You don't do that with your husband?
Oh, no.
Really?
I might watch to make sure he's breathing, like if he stops, like his apnea.
My not every night, but my husband takes pictures of me while I'm
No, he
sleeping. Like
doesn't.
he's been doing it for 25 and a half years. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
creepy, dude.
No, it's not. It's sweet.
Oh my god. I mean, I do that with my dog.
Well, yeah, it's a dog.
All right. I'm gonna start taking pictures of no, I do take pictures of my husband when he's napping on the couch, and I send them to you.
See, you do it.
Not because he's cute and I'm in love with him, but it's in a mocking way. It's not in a creepy stalker way, it's in a totally mocking way. There's a difference. This is very creepy stalker.
So yeah, it's a little bit. She actually did have bedhead. I'm
She
assuming.
did. They carefully, created that bedhead for her.
Mhm.
Um, and she's like, "Oh, I need to fix this," and he's like, "Oh, there's no mirrors." I mean, there's
Like
gotta be some
really?
kind of reflective surface in that mansion.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mansion, not one. I mean, I get he is our, but just for decoration
Right,
to look behind you. I mean,
right.
he can look into a mirror.
Yeah,
So,
it's not
oh
like
well,
mirrors hurt him or he's afraid of them.
right.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Do your girl a solid, get a mirror. And then she's like,
right.
"Maybe I should have a drawer." Ooh, she's pushing it. He's
Yeah,
pushing
yeah,
it. And
yeah.
his reaction is like, "Oh, what?" You can tell when she starts talking about the future and, like, being together and moving forward and da da da, he's like, "Well, maybe you should go." And he actually says that, "Isn't it time for you to go?"
When I basically just slowly started leaving things at my husband's apartment until suddenly I guess I'm living here now.
Yeah, I don't know if I probably did the same thing, and then I think we exchanged keys, and then it was like, "Okay, well, your lease is up soon. What are we gonna do?" "Oh, I guess we're gonna buy a house." "Okay."
And I remember, like, I didn't want my mother to have Mike's phone number. I don't know why. I just didn't want her. I don't know. I was 20. But then something had I think I had a car trouble or something, and I didn't have money on me. So, but I had like we had like a calling card that I could call home for free.
Okay.
I think I called her to ask her to call
Oh
him
my god.
to come get me,
Oh
and
my
then she had
god.
enough.
Instead of,
It's
"Mom,
not like
come
she
get
was like,
me."
yeah. It's not like she was like calling like crazy. I don't know. Like I said, I was 20. She's talking about the prom. She wants to spend some time together after the
She doesn't
prom.
really ask him if he'll take her to the prom.
Not
She
just a
just kind
given.
of,
Yeah.
like, is like, "Oh, yeah, when we go to the prom."
Now, how old do you think he is passing for? Not knowing he's a vampire.
30?
Right. Okay. Oh, that's right. Like older. Like not like
Older.
it's gonna look a
Older.
little
Maybe
weird
not
if he
30,
showed up.
but definitely
Yeah.
in his 20s.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. definitely older. Although, like I said, my boyfriend, I think, was so I would have been 18. I think he was 20 or 21 when we
Yeah,
went to
but
the
that's
prom.
different than 30.
Hmm?
That's different than 30.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I mean, he looks like a man.
Yeah. Man,
Who is this older man that you're bringing to prom?
he sounded like, have you ever seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yes, that's a
Um,
man.
it reminded me of. She's like, "Yeah, no
um,
problem. It's like a
yeah,
cotillion with spiked punch and the
that's right.
electric slide."
That's right. Yeah. Don't worry, it's at night.
And she's like, "Ah, it's gonna be daytime soon." And she pulls open the curtain and
I mean,
oops.
come on. How long have they been together where she doesn't know she needs to carefully peek through that curtain? But no, she just whips that thing open. And the look when she's like, "Sorry," and then the look on his face, he just looks so hurt. Like, not physically, but emotionally, like and he should be. He's like, "Buffy, you not get
Another
it." She's the worst.
besides
Yeah,
besides the drones and aliens in New Jersey that I'm getting in TikTok,
yeah.
I'm getting all these people posting clips of Sarah Jessica Parker as Carrie Bradshaw showing up to Big's apartment, and he opens the door and he just looks just like defeated every time he sees her at the door, and that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not that does not bode well.
No,
Okay.
signs are
Oh my gosh. So then we have the credits,
there. Mhm.
and we open at school, and Xander and Anya are walking together, and she's going off on this anti-man rant, but at the same time, she wants to go to prom with him.
Yeah.
She's funny.
She used a word that I had to look up.
Oh, what?
Libidinous.
Oh, libidinous. Yes.
Yeah.
Like they're
Having or marked by lustful desires.
yes. Yes, driven by their libidos. Libidinous. What did we say last episode that you need to say tomorrow? Oh,
Jack
yeah,
Robinson.
Jack Robinson and libidinous.
If I fit both of those in, oh man. In a 30-minute meeting about CloudWatch recording, I am going to be
I
impressed with
think just
myself.
as you're signing off of the Zoom call, you just as you go to click end, you go, libidinous. Click.
Libidinous
And
Jack
they're on the
Robinson.
other end, they're going, "What? What? Oh my gosh."
So basically it comes down to men are evil. Will you go to the prom with me?
Pretty much. But she's trapped in this persona of this 12th grader, and she's like, "And for some reason, I wanna go. I hate men, but I wanna go to this dance, and I wanna go with someone."
I know you find me attractive. I saw you looking at my breasts. I told you were gonna like Anya.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's funny. And then, let's see, then he's discussing with the gang, and then Buffy's talking about how she got this kick dress. Which
Weird adjective.
I've never heard that. Okay, but whatever. And that Angel's gonna lose it. Um, and then I wrote, "This is foreshadowing. There's gonna be drama with Angel about going to the prom for sure." She's building it up way too much.
I liked Willow's cat shirt.
Have we not seen that before?
I don't think
Oh,
so.
okay. She always seems to have some cute little thing on her shirt, little ducky or something. Back at the mansion, Angel's walking around. He finds her notebook with Angel. She wrote on there, "Angel and Buffy forever." Oh, but not really
It should have been
forever because you're gonna die. He's not.
it should have been forever.
Yeah,
EVA.
forever. Yeah, yeah. Um, then knock knock at the door, and it's Joyce. She walks in. She's kind of admiring his place. "Oh, your place is amazing." And then she looks over and sees the camera pans over to the shackles on the wall.
Oh yeah. Like mother, like daughter.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry about last night." And she's like, "I don't need the details. Don't need to know what was going on." Okay, so then she's walking by, and there's like a marble bust on the and she like is admiring it. I'm like, oh yeah, she's coming back for that.
Yeah,
That's gonna be at the gallery tomorrow.
featured with a spotlight on it.
Yep. Um, she is worried about Buffy and Angel and their relationship, and tells him she's still just a girl, and like she's in love. She's not thinking clearly, and I hope it's gonna be. She's got to make some tough choices, and I hope you're gonna help her make these choices or something. Basically, again, just like everybody else, this isn't gonna last. You need to do something.
Yeah. For one of the few times this season, she's being a good mom.
Yeah, well, she's talking some sense.
So this was about the point when I realized that I should have been watching Choices, not the proms. So this whole time I thought it was Choices.
You're like,
And she said there are some hard choices ahead. I'm like, oh, I'm making a note of that because they said choices.
oh,
And then it was in the next scene when Willow mentioned something about, well, we had the stolen pages. I'm like, when did she steal the pages? Because I remembered the scene, but I'm like, that hasn't happened.
yeah.
Did we miss an episode? And then I clicked the button. I'm like, oh
Like,
crap, I'm watching the
oh, I
prom.
missed an episode. I'm glad you didn't get too far though.
No. And I had to watch it anyway. So
Right. So, as you just said, we're back at the library and we're talking about the prom and we're talking about the ascension. They now know the ascension is something about a human turning into a demon, but they don't know much more than that. Um, then Wesley and Cordelia come in. We don't know where they were. They were like in the stacks or something.
I'm back in the broom closet.
Yeah, yeah. In the video library. What was that called?
The vid
In the
library.
library. Thank you. Um, Wesley is going to be aiding Giles with prom chaperoning. Here's my question: how is he at this school all the time, and now he's going to be at the prom as a chaperone? Like, what is the premise? How do
It's
they? How do they?
I'm with you. It's a plot
Say
hole.
that he's okay. I mean, I think about schools now and how they're all on lockdown, and you can't get into a school. I mean, how the heck is this guy always here? And now he's going to be at prom and just there with all the students
Chaperoning. Yeah.
chaperoning.
Yeah, no, I agree. It is a plot hole that is not explained.
Okay.
I am with you
All
completely.
right.
Because that was like, how could he chaperone? It's not like they ever said he's like the assistant librarian or,
He's not sanctioned. I mean, have they done a background check on this dude? Does Snyder even know that this dude is there at the school?
I'm going to say no.
I'm gonna say no too, but he's there enough. He's walking around the courtyard like ogling Cordelia.
In a suit. It's not like,
Yeah,
he's even like
yeah.
trying to blend
I mean, he's
in. Yeah.
definitely an older man in a suit walking around campus. It's not even like he comes in a back door straight into the library and just stays in the library. He's roaming around.
Maybe they said he was the new computer science teacher to replace Jenny Calendar.
Yeah, maybe.
Willow couldn't do it forever.
Maybe. Okay, now, so Giles wants to focus on the ascension. He's all business. And Buffy's like, no, no, no. We deserve some fun. We deserve some promy fun.
She also says, because he keeps harping on we
Yeah.
need to do something about this, and she says, miles to go before we sleep, which is a reference to Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost.
Oh, oh, okay. Poetry.
Um, well, I mean, the line that he wrote was was miles to go before I sleep.
Yes.
But again, they say 2.8 GPA, and now she's quoting poetry. Like, eh,
She's complex, man.
because as soon as that line came out of her mouth, I'm like, that means something, and it sounded familiar to me. So, yeah,
Okay.
Robert Frost.
Yep. Okay. But why? Why'd they put that in there? Who wrote that line for her? This show. So we cut to a crack house. The Sunnydale crack house set number 3.
Yeah, I said creepy house, but I like your description
Crack
better.
house?
Crack house.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I just wrote, what a shithole.
You're not wrong.
Um, there's a demon gimp in a cage, right?
I said wolfy demon.
Okay.
Again, I like your description better.
He had like a weird mask on or something. I
I
don't
thought that was
know.
just his
He
face.
looked gimpy to me. And then I said, based on how much this thing is thrashing around, this little Walmart bird cage is not going to be holding him very long.
Yep, fair, fair.
Uh, and then we cut to a church.
Oh, before the
Oh,
church, in the crack house,
yeah.
someone is pushing a tape inside a VCR.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right.
For our younger listeners, a VCR or video cassette recorder is what we used to watch movies before YouTube, Netflix, Prime Video existed.
Hmm.
And you would record or tape something
Yes.
onto a tape,
Yes.
which then went into the VCR because it not only recorded, it also played.
That's right. The more you know. Do, 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 do. So now we're at the church, a midday wedding between Angel and Buffy. They're getting married. Aw.
Somebody getting married.
There's no one else there. It's just
Nope.
Buffy and Angel and the priest. So here's my question for you, Sean. So they're at a church where there's lots of crosses and Christian. Do you hear Drew sneezing?
Yes, it's so
You hear
loud.
somebody dying in the other room? So we usually, when Drew sneezes, we don't say bless you. We say sorry, Joe, because when my last dog, Jojo, was so old and all he would do was sleep and he couldn't hear anything until Drew would sneeze like that and Jojo would, "Huh," and so then we'd have to go, sorry, Jojo. Oh,
Poor
poor
Jojo.
Joey. Okay,
Oh man.
so now we're at a church and there's a wedding and it's Buffy and Angel's wedding and it's taking place during the day, which is the first
Yep.
weird thing. The second weird thing is there's nobody in the church. There's nobody attending this wedding. The third thing I noticed is how is he in a church? Like there's lots of crosses around, and usually vampires are, very,
Yep.
right. Um, so we had to talk about that. Like, is it the Christianity aspect of the cross, the spirituality part of it? But anyway, it's very weird that he's in this church and not
Hmm.
responding adversely. Um, they are leaving the church. They get married. They're leaving the church. They walk outside. He seems to be okay in the light,
Hmm.
but he looks over at Buffy, and she catches fire. And then, of course, it's a dream.
Yep.
Yeah,
I remembered the church scene, but I thought it was him that burned up.
yeah.
So I thought that was a good twist that they had her burn up instead of him,
But
and that it was
again,
his dream.
relationship issues.
Hmm.
Even when you're 243 years old, man, the bitches get you down. They try to talk about the future and nail that shit down, and man, it's too much.
Yeah.
Too
Too
much.
much.
Too much. Too much, Sean.
Yeah.
Um so okay, he's dreaming, and then we cut to they're in the sewers on patrol, and then Buffy's asking him about prom. Do you have a tux? And la 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 la. And obviously there's something up. He's like not feeling it.
Yeah.
Uh, and then he doesn't think they should be together. The mayor was right. He was. Uh,
Yeah.
you deserve
I
more. You
like.
should be someone who could take you into the light. And this was
Yes.
this was harsh. And she says, "I want my life to be with you." And he says, "I don't."
Hmm.
What?
Which I'm glad he did because he's realizing it's just not gonna work.
Sewer breakup pre prom.
Yeah, hey, I'm not saying it
Like
was the right place
time
to
and
do
place,
it.
dude.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, he
I
does say to
know.
her when she's like, "No, tell me what's wrong." He's like, "Another time, somewhere else, not here." And she's like, "No." But oh man, ouch, harsh.
Hmm.
Hmm. And then the acting trope where they're talking and she gets upset and she turns around and she walks 3 steps and she just gazes off. And he's talking to
Yeah,
her back and she's just like, "Oh." Um,
yeah,
and then, she's like, what are we gonna do? And he's like, "I'm gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave. After this whole ascension thing is taken care of, I'm gonna leave." Which, good,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah. She gets really upset. He mentioned something about, his heart, and she said, "You have a heart. It isn't even beating.
Yeah.
You have lungs that don't work because you have no breath."
I mean, he's right. He is thinking, with his head, and she
Yeah.
is being a love-struck teenage girl.
18-year-old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I mean, she's responding the way I probably would have responded at 18,
Yeah.
but, yeah, yeah. And then there's a full moon over Sunnydale, and I wrote down montage of sadness. Just she's sad, he's sad, everybody's sad.
Yeah.
And then we just have the next day. Next day, she's telling Willow what happened. Um, and she knows he was right. Willow says he was right. It still hurts, and it's very sad,
Yeah.
sad, and she cries. And that was a good scene. That was touching, where she says, I feel like I can't breathe, like, and she's crying
Yeah,
to her
that was
friend.
that was tough.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, I've given her crap a couple of times lately, but when she said that, I remember, 16-year-old me when my girlfriend broke up with me, and
Right.
I was,
Oh yeah.
devastated.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, Back at the crack house, the gimp is still in the cage, and I noticed there's newspapers all over the floor. Awesome. He does break out of the cage, as I thought he
Mhm.
would. Um, and then Xander goes by that dress shop and he sees Cordelia admiring the same freaking dress. Like, how many times
Yeah.
is she seen admiring this dress? She loves this
Right.
dress. And he goes in and confronts her again and gives her some crap. And then he finds out she's working there. Um, and that my daddy made one little mistake on his taxes for the last 12 years.
So you know what he probably did? He was probably a silent partner in the gallery,
Probably.
and Joyce ran with it.
And
So the,
now that she's broke and I guess homeless. I don't know. She says they don't even have a home.
yeah, she did say that. Maybe it was like, the beginning of Schitt's Creek.
Maybe,
They took everything, including
maybe,
the house.
maybe, or
She's sleeping in the
bedding down in the dressing room of the shop.
dress shop. So the dress shop was called April Fools.
Oh, it
Thought
is.
that was, yeah. So that was a good thing to know because that'll be the kind of thing that shows up in Buffy trivia one day.
Yes,
It'll
for
be like
sure.
16:30 Ravella Drive, Mrs. Finkel, April Fools.
And
I'm gonna win the trivia, damn it.
and the box of Gravlocks.
I noticed that Xander, we've talked about Xander's fashion choices
Yeah.
before, but he's wearing a polo shirt
Hmm.
with a button up on top of it. I have never seen that before. Not something I have ever worn.
It's an interesting choice.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, it would be interesting to talk to somebody that did wardrobe for this show.
Hmm. What were you thinking? No, I'm kidding. No,
Yeah,
'cause, I
really, what
mean,
was
some
your
of it,
vision for this? Like, how did they describe Xander to you that you decided this is the kind of stuff he would wear,
right?
right? Mm.
Mhm.
So let's see. And then all of a sudden we have our plate glass moment.
Yes.
The gimp demon crashes through the plate glass window of the shop,
Yep.
and then, I made a note when Cordelia reels away, and I got a quick screen grab of this. There's a dress behind her that looks like that viral dress where people couldn't decide the colors that it
Oh,
was.
oh, yeah, 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 yeah. It's
Dress
like black and
behind her.
gold or blue and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yep, yep. Um,
Huh.
the gimp demon attacks some rando guy shop worker, but then goes back out the window.
I didn't think it was a worker though, because he was wearing a tux.
Okay, maybe it's a somebody trying something on. Rando
That's what
guy,
I thought.
just rando
Random guy
guy.
in a tux.
Okay, guy
Yeah.
in a tux, and then he goes back out the window. Then we're at the library, and they're watching the sharpest, most quality security camera footage ever in existence.
But Mrs. Finkel does not mess around with her security.
She's got some high quality surveillance equipment in that little boutique shop.
Yeah.
Man, we find out from Wesley that the Gimp demon is actually a hellhound, a
Hmm.
demon foot soldier bred during the Makash Wars.
Yep.
It feeds off the brains of their foes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
Not brains. I don't like brains. I'm good. I'm,
You wouldn't
you
try it like sweetbreads if
I
people
remember
fancy
in
restaurant?
ugh, no, sophomore year of biology in college, they said the fetal pig, and when I opened up the skull, I was like, nope, I'm out. I'm done.
Really?
Can't do it.
No?
Yeah, the brain right there. Nope.
Okay.
I'm good. From my lab days, I'm good with blood and certain other fluids,
Yeah.
but don't
Not
give me
that.
a brain.
No, no brains.
No.
Okay. All right. Oz notices a guy outside the window of the shop doing something suspicious. And he says, "Oh,
Mm.
yeah, that's Tucker Wells from my chem lab." Um, Willow's then like, "Oh, I'm in his email."
That 1999 internet, very
Well, because
unsecure.
everybody's password is password.
That's weird. Yep. I liked how Wesley was jealous. What were you doing in the dress shop with Xander?
Right.
But Xander did stick up for Cordelia. He didn't say, "Oh, she's working there because she's
Right.
poor."
Yep. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Willow gets into the email account and she finds an email that Tucker sent to David Metz, making a threat against the students at the prom. Buffy is again taking charge and she's like, I'm gonna give you guys a good prom. I'm gonna take care of this, and you guys are gonna get a great prom, even if I have to kill everyone on Earth to do it.
Wesley and Cordelia are going to go to Tucker's.
Mm-hmm.
Xander is going to go to the magic shop to see
Yeah.
who's been getting ingredients to summon a hellhound.
Right.
And Buffy goes to the meat packing plant.
Yep.
That's what I assumed it was.
Yep. Yeah. It finds out when she's there that Tucker's been ordering brains. So brains.
Brains.
And then she sees Angel there getting his blood supply.
Yeah, guess maybe positive.
Sure. A
A good vintage.
little awkward. Have you ever bumped into an ex of yours somewhere out and about?
A few times that's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
It's always. I mean, it's not never anything bad happened, but it's awkward.
do you say hello and like?
I think most of the times it happened. Yes, there would definitely be one or two where it's like I'm just going to keep walking.
Oh,
Like you just don't have that energy that day.
I bumped into a guy, like almost literally bumped into physically a guy. So it was my first year of college, and he was a guy that I was every weekend I would drive back home to spend the weekend and then drive back to college. But anyway, we broke up, and it was a bad breakup. And I was at a comic store with my best friend, and I like came around one side of the bookshelf, and he was there, and he didn't see me, and I did one of these, and I backed
Oh,
up, and I just walked out of the door, like I passed my friend, and I was like, ah, and I left. No, thank you.
yeah,
No,
I
thank
get
you.
it. I get
No,
it.
no, no. Okay, so Buffy decides she's going to go to the prom as a chaperone.
That's what she said. I think she really just means like
She's going to go
I'm
stab.
gonna be watching out for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
At the dress shop,
Mhm.
Cordelia finds out that somebody finished paying for her dress.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mm. Then we're back at the library. Buffy has Tucker's address that she got from the meat guy. She says she has everything under control. Everybody go get ready for prom. Buffy tells Giles to go to the prom and keep an eye on everyone. Um, she tells him about her breakup. This is good.
Yep.
Again, Buffy confiding in her friends. That's good. And then she says he says something about, I think this, calls for ice cream. or something. And she says, "No, I'm going to take care of this. The great thing about being the Slayer, kicking ass is comfort food." That's a
Mm.
good quote.
Yep.
We're at the prom. Everybody's dancing, having a good time.
Praise You by Fatboy Slim,
Hmm. Um,
which was also in Cruel Intentions.
yes, good '90s song.
Yes.
Anya and Xander are walking through the shot. She's giving him like a play-by-play history of her life as the
Her
demon.
smiting.
Oh, yeah, her smiting. Um, Wesley and Giles are standing by the food table talking about prom being weird and they would have never had this at their preparatory school. And then Wesley makes some offhand comment about, except for when they dressed up as girls, and
Yes.
I don't know,
Yes.
it's so weird.
They get
Enter
along
Cordelia in the new dress, and Wesley chokes on his salsa.
better. Is that a euphemism?
Yeah, no, he really did. But he says, "This is hot, hot, really hot." And Giles just kind of is rolling his eyes at him. Um, Willow and Oz come in. Um, Wesley
They look good.
approaches. What's that?
They look good.
They do. Wesley approaches Cordelia, tell her how nice she looks. Xander and Anya cross paths with Cordelia and Wesley. There's a brief look of, understanding or a little truce between Xander and Cordelia, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then in walks Jonathan. Jonathan. Isn't Jonathan like in jail or something?
Well, no, he was just going to shoot himself. Why would he go
How
to
is
jail
he
for
like
that?
at prom? How is he not
Listen,
expelled?
maybe they didn't. Maybe no one called him. Maybe Buffy's the only
Not
one who saw him in the
only
clock
is he
tower.
at prom, but he seems to be in charge of prom or on the prom committee or something. Like, this school is effed up, Sean. He brought
Maybe no.
he brought an assault rifle on campus.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but maybe Buffy was the only one who saw him in the clock tower. Maybe no one knows.
Whatever.
You gotta remember, when we first watched this in 1999, Earshot did not air. We knew nothing
I
about the
thought of
clock
that.
tower.
I did think of that. Except then later he goes on to quote what she said to him in the clock tower.
Yeah.
So, all right. Okay, then Buffy's at the crack house. The Hellhound is in the cage. Buffy confronts Tucker, who is just an incel before the word incel was a thing,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
He's brainwashed the Hellhounds about the prom with 80s prom movies, forcing them to
Yes.
watch 80s prom movies, right? Except Pump Up the Volume is not a prom movie.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
prom in that
And
movie. There's no, I mean, and then what is the club?
yeah, I didn't. I wanted to ask you about that
Okay,
since
I'm
these
thinking it
movies
was the
these
Breakfast
movies
Club.
are more your time than me.
Okay, yeah, all right. I'm thinking it was supposed to be the Breakfast Club, which also
That's
is
what I
not
was
a prom
thinking.
movie.
Yeah.
So
I think it's not a prom
I
movie.
don't know. He just,
They,
just had
prom
to include those because he liked those movies.
those they couldn't get the rights to use the Breakfast
They
Club.
had Pretty in Pink, but they couldn't use the Breakfast Club. He's got multiple hellhounds, it turns out, and three of them are on their way to the prom now.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh.
I love when she asked him, "Why are you doing this?" He's like, "I have my reasons," and the reason is he asked one girl to prom and she said no.
I thought it was gonna be like a series, like a montage of him
Yeah.
getting cut off, and every like he's asked 30 girls.
Nope.
No. Now all he needed to say was, "And I'm a nice guy." I don't get it. I'm a nice guy. At the prom, Buffy takes out one hellhound with the crossbow again.
Again, the right
The
way to use it.
crossbow
Long
is
range
coming
shot.
back in style. It's hot and fuego. Then the other two take chase of Buffy, but then reconsider because they hear the prom music and they head back to the prom.
Not just for the prom music. They heard Celebration by Cool. Like, she's like, that's not even a good song.
That's a great song, Buffy. Oh, come
Oh,
on. You go to white people wedding, everybody dances to that song.
you're not
It's great.
wrong. You're
It's a
not
great
wrong.
song. Um,
It it's a good song in the right places.
okay, all right, okay. She takes oh, Buffy's then we get another oh no, okay, blah, 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 blah. Oh, we get another Buffy running through the hall shot, and she takes out another one of the hounds with a stake.
Yep.
And then she gets the last one with the neck snap, which it actually said in my closed captioning, neck snap.
Nice snap. When the random dude just walked out, and he's looking for the
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah, and he doesn't seem to be too, shaken up by this thing.
Sunnydale.
Yeah. She drags the corpses away and she gets her dress out of the bag and she goes to the prom.
Hmm.
Willow says everything's perfect, having a great time. Um, then we're announcing the class clown of 1999, and Xander looks hopeful, and his hopes are dashed. It's not. It is this guy who I think they just said to him, they were like, he's like, "What's your notes?" Okay, we just need you to be like the dorkiest, goofiest. Like, think Monty Python Ministry of Silly Walks. What kind of props we got for this guy?
You got balloon
Balloon
hat.
animal
You
hat
got balloon hat.
and like the crazy checkered suit. This guy is just like walking vaudeville.
He came through. He really
Oh
did.
man. Yeah, he deserved that. He deserved that title. Um, then Jonathan takes the mic.
And yeah, he said, "Is Buffy Summers here?" Immediately started tears. I don't know. Something about I don't know what it is. As soon as he says Buffy Summers here, she turns around. I mean, not like full blown crying, but I
You welled
welled.
up.
Yeah.
Oh God. And then he
Tell me you
says, "We
felt
have one
you
more award to give out. It's a new category." He never tells us the category. I guess class protector is the
class
category, but
protector.
he reads he says the prom committee gave me this to read, and then he proceeds to read what she said to him in the clock tower or the school tower. And then he says, and it's because of you, the class of 1999 has the lowest mortality rate. No, this is interesting. This was interesting to me. He's making reference to like all the weird stuff that goes on at the school and that there's been all these deaths and demons, blah blah blah. And we know, Buffy, that you have something to do with protecting us from all of this. So do they know that she's a slayer?
I don't think everyone knows she is the Slayer.
Specifically.
I think specifically, I think they know that she has a handle on these weird things, but I don't think they all know she is a vampire slayer.
It's interesting to me then if everybody's aware that this one girl is taking on all of this to help them, that nobody else is stepping in besides, the core gang. Nobody else is like, "Hey, Buffy, you know, sorry we all treated you like a loser for the first 3 years you were here,
You're not wrong.
but it was all
Not
worth
wrong.
it because here's a little umbrella and thank you." And our thanks.
So it's interesting, and I mentioned this when we watched Earshot. So the first time that I watched season three, when this aired in '99 and Earshot wasn't shown, we went from I think enemies
To choice.
to then choices to this, and I thought it was weird that Jonathan was given this speech
Yeah.
because again he's been there, like we've
Yeah.
seen him
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
season
Yeah.
two, but he's just kind of
Yeah.
there. And then watching it the way you did, which see that connection that they had at the clock
Right.
tower, and then go right to this and him giving that speech. I
Yes.
think it's more meaningful.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I know you didn't cry, but any emotion?
Besides, what the hell, Jonathan? Why are you there? Indignation? No, not really.
Really?
No,
Nothing?
no. I mean, I
Okay.
thought it was nice. It was
Okay.
touching.
I'll take it.
It was
I'll
touching that they did that nice thing for her. That they
Yeah.
showed some appreciation. So she got her moment, which was nice. I did think that.
Mhm.
So now it's slow dance time.
So I remember when we interviewed Georgia,
Yeah.
the background actor who was in season 1 and 2, and she said like all the scenes in the bronze when like they're dancing, there's no music playing
Right.
like in while they're filming it.
Yeah.
So I had to wonder. I'm assuming it was the same here. That they're all whether it was slow dancing or like the fast dancing earlier on, like it's just
There's
nothing.
just nothing.
That would be hard for me
You just have to
to
imagine a
dance.
song in your head.
I guess
I
I,
always
I
have a
I think I
song in
would
my head, so
struggle.
that would not be a problem for me. What would be a
Fair.
problem is that I'd probably start singing, like, under my breath.
Hmm.
They'd be like, "Who's singing?"
So when she was given the award, and she was all the way in the back of the gym, and she's walking up, the music that was playing, and it's just instrumental, there's no words. It sounded very similar to the West Wing theme to me.
I'll go check it out. You'll have to put that up on the socials at some point. Um,
Like I even went because the composer, and I don't know if it's spelled Christopher without the R, so I don't know if it's pronounced like Christoph or Christopher.
oh,
Um,
Christopher without the R at the end. I'm like,
yeah,
Christopher?
no,
Okay, no, Christoph.
but
Christoph.
yeah, Christoph, and he's done a ton in movie and TV music since. I know he just did the music for Agatha all along. So I went and checked, like, did he compose The West
Blessing.
Wing? And he did not.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not the same. But I definitely picked up. I know you're rewatching that right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Oh,
So
all right,
let me know what
interesting.
you think.
What I noticed, everybody that's dancing, everybody's dancing, and they're panning around, and you're watching the people dance, and like the eyes are everywhere. Like they're looking at the camera. They're not looking at each other. They're just looking everywhere. And I was like, that was what it was like as a teenager. You're doing a slow dance. You don't know what to look at.
It's
Yeah.
awkward.
Um, oh, Wesley comes over to the table where Giles is sitting, and he wants to ask Cordelia to dance. It's just, to this point, I was like, I don't think I'm going to have a favorite line in this episode. None of these lines are hitting me. And then Giles says, "For God's sake, man, she's 18. And you have the
And
emotional
you have the
maturity of a
emotional.
blueberry scone. Just have at it and stop fluttering around." And he gets up and walks away. And I was like, that's my
Yeah,
favorite line.
yeah,
For God's
that
sake,
was mine
man.
also. Yep.
So, yep. So then he does. He dances with Cordelia. Anya and Xander are dancing, and Anya admits this isn't too bad.
Hmm. Wild Horses by the Sundays.
Yes, which
Good
I only
song.
remember from the movie Fear.
Mm,
If you know, you know.
I never saw it.
Oh, okay. Marky Mark.
I know.
Giles and Buffy are watching kind of from the side, and Giles says he's surprised the students or the young people could be so gracious as to do what they did for her. And then she says
Yeah.
people can surprise you sometimes, and Giles says yes, and he looks over, and of course I'm like, it's Angel. Of course, Angel's going to show up at the prom, and he does, and they dance, and it's a nice moment, even though they
Hmm.
both know it's just for tonight. It's still going to end.
Yep.
But everybody, I think they're okay. They're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Um, that's it. That's the ending.
Okay.
What's
Hmm.
your rating on this one?
Four steaks.
Four steaks.
Four steaks.
Wow, 2.5 for me. 2.5, and I said meh.
Well, you.
This whole Jonathan thing ticked
Wow.
me off, and that's kind of on the end note for me. Jonathan at the prom.
Okay.
Frickin'
Okay.
Jonathan should not be at that prom. He should be homeschooled now. I'm sorry, Danny Strong.
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry.
It's the class protector moment.
That got you.
Yeah, I just think it's very sweet.
Okay, it is. It's very sweet. I stand by my score. Next up,
Season 3, episode 21, Graduation Day, part 1.
it's a two-parter. Yep,
It is
this
a
is it.
two-parter.
End of the season.
And I have a juicy tidbit that I am going to not give you until we
Oh,
finish part
okay.
1.
We might be watching this one together.
We might be.
Ooh, fun. I predict that part one is going to end on a huge cliffhanger where we think that the mayor has achieved his goal with the ascension and become a demon or whatever. Um,
Okay.
I don't know the hows or what's of that, but that's what I predict. I also predict that Cordelia and Xander are going to come to a peace, and she'll be less angry because now she can confide in him a little more.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, do I
What?
think that
What?
Anya and Xander are going to become a thing? I think so. For at
Okay.
least a couple episodes.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, that's it.
What do you think is going to happen with Faith?
Oh yeah, so we didn't see Faith at all,
Because she doesn't go to the school.
or
Why would
the
she be at
mayor,
the prom?
or the mayor. What's
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
happen? So what's going to happen with Faith? I think Faith is going to have a last minute change of heart. I'm going to hold out some optimism. She's going to have a last minute change of heart and she's going to like turn on the mayor
Okay.
in part 2.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right.
What's your poker face? You crack me up.
It's tough. It's tough because I know exactly what's going to happen. And sometimes you hit the nail on the head, and other
Sometimes I'm
times
way off. Sometimes
you're
I hit
way
my
off.
thumb with that hammer. Sean, tell them about the socials.
All right, we are everywhere, and I haven't listed them in a while, so I'm going to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit once in a while,
Reds,
Th- Threads, YouTube,
Blue Sky.
YouTube Shorts, Blue Sky. I think that's all of them. BuffyForums.net.
Oh,
Except I always forget to post there, but
oh,
I'm going to try to do better at that one.
okay.
Um, we are at the Sunnydale Diaries everywhere except Blue Sky, who had a character limitation, so we are just Sunnydale Diaries there. We have a website, thesunnydalediaries.com, where you can do a plethora of things.
Ooh, a plethora.
Just in time for 2025, you can download our free PDF 2025 Jenny Calendar full of 12 months of pictures of Jenny.
12 months of
Who wouldn't
Jenny.
want that? Good stocking stuffer.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that's how he prints it out, wraps it, he opens it up, like, what the hell is this? You also can read the rules for our 5x7x5 haiku contest, which is ending at the end of this month, end of December 2024. Come up with your season 3 related Buffy haiku and send it to us through our email address, which is thesunnydalediaries@gmail.com. And you could win a fabulous Buffy themed prize.
Mm-hmm.
On that website, you can also get a link to our Discord server. And I think that is everything for the
I think
socials.
you got it.
All right. So we will be back next week with Graduation Day Part 1.
Very exciting.
See you
Bye,
there.
guys.
Bye.